Hey guys, this is Dennis, the founder of Think Hero.
I'm David Griffin, your resident comic book and video game guru.
And this is our review of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. episode 16.
End of the beginning.
End of the beginning.
Beginning of the end?
Something like that.
Yeah.
So, I thought it was a decent episode, you know? I enjoyed some of it, some parts I didn't like. I did think it was better than the last episode, which was the SIF episode. I know you liked that one a lot.
Such a good episode.
I like this one more because it actually has to deal with an overall storyline. They bring back characters we've seen before, storylines we've heard about before.
Yeah.
I like Bill Paxton as a guest star.
Yeah.
What did you think?
It was solid. It was nice seeing, every time we see Patterson, Mike Patterson?
Peterson.
Mike Peterson, you know, the whole Deathlock program. He interests me. I wish we got to see more of him. He's just kind of that guy in the background causing chaos and, you know, possibly being manipulated. Got all this stuff going on with him. Got all these scars on it. He looks messed up, you know. But, I mean, I really like seeing the scenes with him. Of course, the whole big thing, I guess, at the end is, you know, with Melinda May, Agent May being discovered.
That's a more interesting part of the show.
Yeah, because it's like, who's she working for? Like, I speculated that we don't think she's a villain.
No.
She's probably working for somebody
Fury,
in S.H.I.E.L.D.
maybe.
Yeah, Fury, probably Fury. And I'm sure, I kind of have a feeling we'll probably see Sam Jackson before the end of the season again. You know, this is like as a guest appearance. But it was good. A lot of good character actors they brought. I never remember anybody's name, but the woman, got the dimple in her chin, really pretty, you know, long. Miss Agent Hand. Like, she's really good. I like her as an actress. The guy who does the Scotch, I can't remember his actor's name. All these great character actors this season. And this was a well-rounded episode, I thought. Not great, but I thought it was well-rounded.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of Deathlock,
Yeah.
what do you think of the costume? Because I think the costume looks kind of cheesy, to be honest.
It's a little hokey, yeah.
Like, I
like his mechanical stuff.
But I mean, just as a whole, when you see him, it just looks like a little too homemade for me.
Yeah, it's okay. I mean, it's so hard because like superhero costumes, when you see them in a comic book, it looks a certain way. When you see them in, you know, on TV, it can either look cheesy, but it's okay. I don't mind it. I don't mind it.
So one of the things I think that's hard for me to really get into the show is with the character of Skye and the character of Ward. One, I don't really get too much into their characters, especially.
Right.
And two, I really don't buy their romance. It's one of those situations where it's, here's a good-looking girl, there's a good-looking guy, so you're just expected, you know, kind of like in Thor. Remember with Thor and Natalie Portman as Jane Foster, you're just like, oh, they're in love, right?
Right. The relationship's way better in Thor 2 because you have a little more time. You just can't just like throw like, oh, they're two good-looking people, they must fall in love. Yeah, it's a little too.
So for Ward to be all like the protective over Skye and like shoot the supposed clairvoyant, the fake clairvoyant apparently.
Right.
Over, you know, they're hinting that was the main reason.
I'm sad he died. I don't know if anybody noticed him, but that's Wormtongue from Lord of the Rings. Great British character actor, awesome actor. I can't remember his name, but you know, if you ever watched Lord of the Rings, he's Wormtongue. And I was like, oh, it sucks they killed him. That was an interesting scene. I didn't expect Ward to shoot him. That was interesting. But again, like you said, Ward's character's not quite deep enough, but they are trying to give these people more backstory with each passing week. So it's a slow burn. I mean, we're on episode 16 now. It took a long time, but these chunks, to give the show credit, these chunks of episodes since SIF and all these episodes are better than the first half of the season.
Yes.
Except for the pilot. I didn't mind the pilot. I thought the pilot was okay.
Well, yeah, I mean, the pilot, you don't have too many, you know, like, you don't know if it's going to be episodic or not, because the first episode's the first episode. You don't know if this is this is going to continue to further storyline, which it did, which I'm thankful for. They have been planting seeds. They just have been planting them very slowly and, you know, taking their time.
And I think that's it. And the thing is, there are other shows that, you know, do the same thing. They plant seeds. I mean, I'm not going to try too deep, but like, you know, Boardwalk Empire, you know, shows like Breaking Bad. There's stuff that happens like underneath the layers. It's building and building. When this show does it doesn't feel like anything's happening, even when it's trying to. And I realize it's a different kind of show, but like I'm glad that we are seeing more. But it did take a long time for this to happen. I have to give the show credit. These episodes are better than they were in the past.
Yeah, I think ever since the couple of episodes with Skye getting shot, those were better for me, you know. But I do like, you know, Bill Paxton. I think he's a great addition to it. He's got. His character has a personality, and I think, you know, Titus Welliver was in this episode. He was people know him from Lost and Deadwood. He was the guy that got shot, that put the tracker on Deathlock in this episode. Yeah. So I like these additions, especially because
a lot of good character, and of course when I'm doing this review, I'm saying stuff. Hey, it's that guy from that thing. You know, I mean, there are a lot of actors in this episode like that, and a lot of good character actors. So I mean, I thought this was one of the stronger episodes recently. Except I do like the Sif episode, but no, this one was good. This one was a S.H.I.E.L.D. episode. It didn't rely on another Marvel character to come in and hold, be a crutch. This was a S.H.I.E.L.D. episode.
Well, what I'm interested in is I've already seen Captain America 2. It comes out this Friday, right? Mm-hmm. There are significant things that happen within the S.H.I.E.L.D. organization in Captain America 2. I'm not going to give any spoilers. That have to affect the show. I mean, I just can't see it not affecting the show. Right. And then there are certain things in this episode where I was like, oh, maybe that has something to do with it. But I don't know. Right. I'm not 100%, because you do have this whole Melinda May working for someone else. I have, thoughts on that.
From what you've seen in Captain America too.
Yes. Also, the Victoria Hand and how she now wants to, take down Agent Coulson. Yeah. So we'll see next week. I'm seeing it Friday, so we'll see. Yeah. But we'll see next week's episode of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Yeah. Is there an episode?
It is next week. Yeah, no break.
No more breaks. To see if that actually is affected, and then is that going to make people go see Captain America, or not?
I think people will see Captain America
no matter what.
No matter what, over seeing S.H.I.E.L.D.
Well, of course. So I'm guessing that they will take into account what happens in Captain America 2 and have it play into Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Right, yeah, so I'll be curious to see that next week, yeah. I mean, when I see Captain America, then watch the new S.H.I.E.L.D. episode on Tuesday.
But I'm wondering, are they going to put like a collage of scenes together that show what happens in Captain America 2 so that you'll know? Because it's a big leap. It's a big leap for what happens.
But it's better than the Thor where they just like show up in London and be like, oh, Thor did all this. And then they just leave. Like that was kind of useless. I hope they do more with it.
Well, this is directly involved with S.H.I.E.L.D. So it's hard to avoid. That's my question. I don't know what the timelines are in terms of this, where the show is and where Captain America 2 is supposed to be taking place. But yeah, it's pretty big stuff that you can't overlook.
Right.
What do you think of? I don't know if you read the article and interview with the executive producers for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Marissa Takaran and her husband Jed Whedon. We both really like them as writers. I think they did a really good job.
I'm doing a rewatch of Spartacus right now.
Yeah, they did a really good job with Spartacus Gods of the Arena. I thought they did a good job with Dollhouse. However, we have been critical of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. They came out in an interview and they were trying to defend themselves, saying, "Yeah, we're taking our time, and people can't expect a Marvel movie every week." But I think that's kind of a weak argument because people are not expecting that. Maybe a small percentage are, but most of us are just looking for good characters, good storylines. We aren't looking for a Marvel, like a giant budget thing. People, you and Mike do the review for Arrow. That obviously is a very small budget.
Small budget.
Compared to
they shoot the same back alley in Vancouver every episode. Yeah.
So, but people are really into it and support it. They are not critical of Arrow. No. And it has to do with storyline and characters.
Yeah, I care about what the characters are going through on a weekly basis. I want it, and it's not always perfect.
No.
They don't always do it perfect, but they just make the characters interesting. I think S.H.I.E.L.D. just feels so generic. And Spartacus, not everybody has seen that, but Spartacus, the characters were very interesting in Spartacus, especially in the guys that you read in the second, third, and fourth season, which they were all producers on, Jed Whedon and them. Like it was very interesting. I'm assuming their stars gave them more freedom to kind of do what they wanted. I mean, this is Marvel's baby. This is ABC. This is a 22 episode season. I wonder how tightly they're being watched. I mean, Jed Whedon's never been a showrunner before, even though his brother is obviously Josh Whedon. Yeah. But you wonder, I don't know. I hope they can come back. I mean, if they do a season 2, I don't think ABC's going to let the show fail. No. I'll be interested to see what that's going to be like.
I have a feeling that this show's going to get pretty good in season 2, but all the fans are
and
going to be gone.
we won't be around watching it.
The fans will be gone by then.
Yeah, it was like, are you watching S.H.I.E.L.D? It's so good now.
Because
then,
the ratings have gone down
I think
much.
This episode was lowest, yeah.
Well, when you keep skipping weeks, and,
right?
You know.
And whether I know some of you didn't like, S.I.F., some of you did, but I mean, S.I.F. Either if you didn't like the episode or not, a couple weeks ago, it was a big episode.
Yeah.
One of their biggest, and then they just take a 2-week break after all that momentum. It's like, why would you do something like that?
I don't know.
Oh man, come on, ABC now.
So yeah, I mean, overall, I did enjoy parts of this episode, and I thought it was a decent episode, and I think there's stuff there that they can build on, especially the end stuff with Melinda May. That stuff interests me. She's a more interesting character, and the whole organization of S.H.I.E.L.D. And then after you guys see Captain America 2, then you'll come back and you'll see what I'm talking about.
Yes, I haven't seen it yet, so I'm still waiting. I'm excited.
All right, guys, you can post your comments below on the website, thinkhero.com, or on our YouTube channel, Think Hero Pro. Make sure you subscribe to that.
Well, you also can find us on Twitter. Talk to Dennis or Michael and myself about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Michael and I, Dennis already saw Captain America. Michael and I are going to see it on Friday, so fill you in on all of our thoughts and everything. I'm sure Dennis and I will do a review of that. You can find us at Think Hero. I'm at Griffin DE.
And we also have a Facebook page. That's facebook.com/ThinkHeroFans. Make sure you like that page and share our videos on Twitter and Facebook and all that stuff.